Running a business is a 24/7 production. I'm the creative director, the tech guy, the customer service representative, crisis control, and logistics management. I run the sales floor, I answer emails, and produce every order that comes through the studio. I am meticulous about the quality of each piece, ensuring that every string and stitch is in place before packaging and shipping each order. How I sell and when I sell and release products are all factors in the successful business model that I continue to develop to create classic, incredibly well-crafted designs inspired by the trends and silhouettes and values that inspired a nation. To create the dress that transcends the test of time and trend, to create garments that can be worn, shared, and loved for generations to come. I am dedicated to full control over the process of making, never outsourcing my production. And knowing that each piece is made by me specifically for the client that ordered it is an incredible thing. I had no intention of making clothes. I wanted to be a forensic anthropologist and go to art school at the same time. I was taking biology and anthropology classes along with my arts, and I opted to go into the art education program. I knew that I wanted to be creative, and I knew that I needed to be able to express myself and provide for myself. So having the security of a job in education while teaching students about what I loved seemed pretty natural. I never really cared about what I looked like in high school, opting for basketball shorts and skateboard shoes most days. But I had always wanted to wear the nice Abercrombie shirts and short skirts that my mom brought home for me, but I often felt crushed by the impending scrutiny from my peers. So towards the end of my senior year and into my freshman year of college, it was a whole new world. I didn't know anybody, everything was new. I began experimenting with my wardrobe, wearing skirts, dresses, shopping at vintage stores, and altering existing garments to better fit my figure or decorate with patches and found fabric. I had always designed clothes in my sketchbooks, drawing long flowing gowns over chunky female figures. And learning to sew was another afraid to fail hurdle that I decided to tackle. I had owned a sewing machine. It was my mom's 1980s Singer, and it sat untouched in our basement studio. I drove to Joann Fabrics with a little bit of cash in my name and purchased some hideous galaxy print fabric. After watching a YouTube tutorial, I drafted a pattern and sewed my first pair of pants. So I created an oversized bow in the front, and that acted like pockets. The thrill of making something that you can actually use and wear has always driven me. Making a creative thought come to life in a tangible item was pretty addicting. I was hooked. I began sewing and designing ever since. I made things, and people around me began requesting those things, dresses and accessories. It was a really natural progression. I never thought that I would ever do this full time, but I'm so glad that I do now. I'm very proud of Stella McCartney. Her push for ethical fashion, products and materials free of animal ingredients or unethical production practice. Her commitment to training women, providing a new workforce with skills and experience to move up in the industry. As far as design goes, I've also always admired Miu Miu. Their vintage-inspired silhouettes, vibrant, rich textile choices, and high-quality product are something I aspire to also create. And additionally, I've always been infatuated with Chanel. Her ability to recreate herself and transform her financial and social situation with raw talent and ingenuity. I've admired hardworking people and aim myself to build something from nothing, so to speak. I had been making clothes and accessories for friends and coworkers on request, and request by request started to add up. Finally, I had collected enough vintage lace to produce my first collection. I had been doing a lot of independent research, looking into what it took to launch a fashion line. Step one was to produce a cohesive collection. Collecting my thoughts was incredibly challenging. Forcing all of the ideas together under the same umbrella of thought was equally challenging. Forsythia marked the beginning of Clothes Horse Clothing. I produced and shot the collection on my own and immediately sold through the small batch of one-of-a-kind items that I had designed and created. Running a fashion show is beautiful chaos. There are a million different people doing a million different things. Coordinating models with designers, exactly how it is, booking hair and makeup artists, securing photographers and videographers, making sure that everybody understands the expected timeframes and commitments. Running a successful show is the art of making it work. Last-minute cancellations and dropouts or no-shows, unforeseen obstacles are all unfortunately part of the deal. Every show requires intensive prep and planning. Who's wearing what, with what, when. Outfits do not always suit the model originally planned for. Being flexible with your planning and willing to make changes is integral to sound event time decision making. In this industry, you learn a lot. Hair and makeup fall under that category. Trade work is tricky to book. Everybody has to live, and sometimes that means paid work trumps trade work, and you have to fend for yourself. If there's anything that I've learned over the years, it's how to apply some basic eye makeup, use bobby pins, and hope for the best. Everyone is generous enough to donate their time to our productions. We like to provide signage and social media promotion to those who promote the cause. Models carry the signs advertising the agencies, companies, photographers, and individuals who work to produce the show. And at the end of the day, it's great to have my studio in the same place where my mother and I have our pottery company, Weird Girl Creations. For more information on Clothes Horse Clothing, visit our site, clotheshorseclothing.com, or our Facebook page and Instagram pages. I'm Bianca Jones, and thank you for watching.